Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of June 19th through June 23rd, where we'll select our top swing trading stocks to watch, top swing trading stocks in our bullpen and our shopping list. We'll look at various ETFs, dividend-paying stocks, and also talk about our options trading strategies and the current market conditions. Also, all of us at BeachBum Trading want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. We're hoping you're having an enjoyable Father's Day and long weekend. Just a quick reminder that the markets are also closed on Monday for the Juneteenth U.S. holiday, so you get to enjoy your Father's Day long weekend for an extra day. So we hope that you're all enjoying it. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled Fallout from the Hawkish Skip, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, as this contains all of our market analysis, our strategies, trade ideas, etc. For this trading week of June 19th through June 23rd. So this is our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for this week. We put our notes in Google documents that are publicly accessible. These documents contain links to bonus videos, all the tools and resources that we use, and you can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. We store all of our Google documents for our notes for our weekly trading game plans in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to these notes and notes from our previous weekly trading game plans in the Google Drive folder, for which you can also find a direct link in the description box below. Welcome to Ricky Khan, Flip of the Shippa. So firstly, we'll very quickly review our trade updates for this week. We didn't do a whole lot of active trading. We did try to take a scalp trade in SOX. You can see we went long in SOX, which is the short on semiconductors. We went long at about 969 on the 14th, and we got stopped out on the 16th at about 979 for a small profit, about 1%. Which equates to a monthly profit of about 15%. And I was probably a little too aggressive with the stops, but going into the long weekend, I didn't really want to deal with, gap up, gap down on Tuesday. So we'll see SOX did actually run up towards the end of the day, but I was away from my machine anyway. So we'll take a quick look at that trade in SOX. So here we see, SOXS. I'll zoom it in a little bit. So we see, when it dipped and then bottomed on the 14th, we went long, and then it gapped up. It was pretty flat, rode up a little bit, and then when it dipped down below this pivot point, I had my stop right below that pivot point at 979. So I got stopped out, and then, we see towards the end of the week, end of the day, end of the week, it ran up. As you'll see, we're going to continue to try to watch SOX to try to get some more scalps, short-term swing trades in SOXS going forward, and we'll talk about that in our watch list as well. Good morning, The Crow. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you as well. So just a reminder, if you'd like to get real-time trade alerts when we make a trade, when we exit a trade, you can get those email notifications via any level of our Patreon. And I'll also put our link to our Patreon up in the banner as well. So again, as quickly as possible, I post those to our Patreon members. You'll get an email notification. Also, our Patreon members have access to a couple alerts channels in our Discord. So you can see I have a Thinkorswim price alerts channel that our Patreon members have access to. And whenever one of my price alerts and set up in Thinkorswim gets triggered, it gets automatically posted to that channel. And then if we follow that up with an actual trade, as you can see with the SOX trade, I'll post that also in this Thinkorswim channel. If it's a trade not based on a Thinkorswim alert, Then, like when we do options trades, typically they're not based on Thinkorswim price alerts. So then I would post that in the trade alerts channel. So again, I don't ever recommend that anyone blindly follow us or anyone else into trades. But if this would help you make money in your trading, succeed in your trading career, you can see, when and what we're entering and exiting by joining any level of our Patreon. So now we'll talk about our real-time watch list for our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. So I'll go through the list and then we'll jump back over to Webull and look at each of the charts. So BDRY we've been watching, scalping. This is a long on dry bulk shipping. So we'll see it's kind of run up. We're waiting for that to come down. EWV is the short on the Nikkei on Japan. We've been talking about that for a couple weeks. You can see I'm trying to watch for the top in EZJ and also in the actual Nikkei futures index. And we have a more detailed video that you can access via this bonus link in the notes on our strategy for trading the Nikkei, trading Japan using EWV and watching for entry points using EZJ. I've added FNGD. FNGD is the short on the FANG stocks. Again, we'll take a look at both the FANGs and the stock and the SOX, both in Webull and in the technology component screener I have in our ETF spreadsheet. I'm a little more hesitant in shorting the FANG stocks given the exuberance within the mega cap techs, but as we'll see, we might be able to get an opportunity in that. Very similarly, I'm using the top or resistance in FANG-U, which is the leveraged long in the FANGs, to determine my entry into the short on the FANGs, FANG-D. I'm going to take MET-C off of the watch list for now. That's the long on coking coal. It's run up, so we can always look at that again if there's a sector rotation out of coking coal. I'm adding MJ. MJ, as we'll see in our ETF spreadsheet, is one of the two ETFs we watch for a long in cannabis. We talked about this. It was in our bullpen last week, and we talked about it looked like it was gaining some support, a bottom, and now it's swung up a little bit. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of a pullback and a long entry in MJ. I think this is probably a very long-term swing, but periodically, you get some excitement in the cannabis industry, although I don't know of any near-term catalysts like any new legislation, etc., that would impact that in the near term. Welcome, Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you as well. Hope you're having a good Father's Day. So we've been watching MP Materials for a while. You can see in our previous due diligence video, our thesis on MP Materials. It bounced up a little bit. Might have got a little bit of a Kramer pump the other day. He had them and talked about them on one of his shows the other day, and it looks like it got a little pump. We'll see if we can get a pullback and a re-entry in MP Materials. PALL, play on palladium. Again, palladium's run up a little bit. We'll see if we get a pullback and a chance to enter long palladium. It may just run away. We might not get a chance. You can also see our previous video. We talked about our strategy using SOXL and SOXS to make money trading semiconductors. So again, you can see that more detailed analysis in this bonus link to this video in our notes. Flip of the Shipper says cannabis continues to slip. Yeah, for quite a while. You could see, we'll see it downtrended for a long time. Again, it looks like it may have finally found a bottom, found a support level, and so, maybe we'll get a swing back up. Good morning, Tony Roses. Happy Father's Day to you as well. Thank you for joining us. We're still watching UROY, which is our uranium play. Again, all the uraniums are kind of up a little bit. This one's closest to the support. Just a warning that UROY filed a mixed shelf offering up to $130 million on the 9th. I have not seen an effect notice on that, but once that goes into effect, they could drop an offering at any time. So again, just watch out for an offering on UROY. After that offering clears, that may give us an opportunity to enter at a lower price. So we'll keep an eye on that. Still watching USOI, which is the covered call ETN on oil. Again, oil popped back up over 71. So we'll see if we get a pullback in oil at any point. And that would be my preferred play for a pullback in oil. Agreed. Ricky Khan, most of the cannabis companies have not been profitable, and therefore it's more of an emotional play. Tends to be when the euphoria comes to the cannabis industry, it runs, and then they realize that Tilray, etc., have been losing a lot of money. So again, that's been our concern there. We'll see. Maybe they'll turn around, given that money's become a lot tighter nowadays. We're going to take wheat off of our watch list. Again, we saw yesterday in the futures, all the agricultural products have pretty much run up except for rice. So we'll let wheat turn around at some point. If we see that turn in the futures, we can always watch WEAT again. Just another reminder is our Patreon members have access to an automatically updated web page. It gets automatically updated every day with any changes, intra-week changes to our watch list, and then also to a watch list channel in our Discord. So if I make any changes after that's been generated, so you can see we very quickly added FNGD to our watch list, and I post those updates in the stocks watch list channel in our Discord that our Patreon members have access to. So again, if you'd like to get more frequent updates to our watch list, including this automatically updated web page, this web page has price targets, optionality, dividend information, etc. So additional information about each of these stocks on that automatically updated web page. So again, if you'd like to get access to that, any level of our Patreon will also give you access to all that information. So let's quickly look at all of our stocks on our main watch list. So again, this is the stock screen in the online browser version of Webull. Another nice thing I like about Webull is the ability to have multiple watch lists. So here's BDRY. Again, this is the dry bulk shipping. You see it's hovering above our ideal price target, although it does look like this support level, around 6 is a pretty good support level as well. So, we'll keep an eye on that. Talked about the Nikkei. So the long on the Nikkei is EZJ. You can see it may have reached a peak around this 37.75. I've been watching that price, and EZJ looks like it rolled over just a little bit. So we'll see if it retests that high, if it breaks that high, and then we would be looking at if the Nikkei is really going to roll over, we'll look at going long using EWV. Again, you can see both of these are pretty low liquidity, low float, choppy, so probably have to look at the level 2s and kind of lead that order in. So also we'll look at the FANGs. We talked about the FANGs. I'd use a peak in FANG U to determine an entry point in FANG D. We can see it looks like it tested that resistance point, about 203.55, got rejected, bounced down. So again, we'll see if it continues to break down. Again, I'm a little hesitant about the FANGs because they use the mega cap techs as a flight to safety, Tesla, etc., Microsoft, Apple, Google, etc. So if they're going to continue to pour money in those, then FANG will probably continue to go up. But we get these pullbacks so there is some near-term scalp opportunities. So if you're day trading, short-term trading, again, there's some scalp opportunities when they rotate out of the mega cap techs, and that pulls back. Here's the MJ, the cannabis. You can see we talked about, this $3 level looks like a pretty good support. Looks like it's slowly starting to swing up. Again, it's been downtrending for a very long time. And again, maybe that's the bottom. Maybe that's the support level that'll mark a longer term swing back up. Again, this looks like there's going to be a long-term swing play. Well, welcome, Walter Lyons. Happy Father's Day to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Again, we've been watching MP Materials for a while. You see it tested that 20 area, bounced off of it. It's bounced up a little bit. So we'll see if we get a pullback in MP Materials again. Palladium, you see it run up recently, but it's a pretty recent run. So we'll see if we get another test back down in this 120 area. I probably should have taken that 120.12. It looked like it. My price target longer term, I think, is 120.01. So we see the lowest points about 120. Talked about SOXS and SOXL. So again, we see that rejection off of that pivot point, about 26.87. If we see a retest of that level, that seems like that's pretty good resistance level. So if we get a retest of that, then we should see, a bottom around 946 or so of SOXS. Again, SOXS is a leveraged inverse, so it's going to decay anyway. So it may be at a lower price. So again, we use this resistance point, the previous top in SOXL, to determine an entry into SOXS. UROY, again, our uranium play. When we see sector rotation out of uranium, again, uranium's been pretty strong lately. So again, we'd ideally like it in the 180s, back down at this previous low. But again, it's got pretty good range up, could go significantly higher, up to 3. So, and then again, USOI, oil's kind of high right now. If USOI comes back down, I think their next ex-dividend date's like 6/19, 6/20, I believe, is the ex-dividend on USOI, as well as GLDI and SLBO, which are the ETNs on gold and silver that we hold. So let me grab a drink and check the chat, and then we'll talk about our bullpen stocks for this week. Okay, so if anyone's new to our channel, the concept of the bullpen stocks are stocks that we're not watching real time like we are in our top swing trading stocks watch list, but they look like they might have a positive setup in the near term, so we put them in the bullpen. I revisit them at the end of each day. If their setup is improved, we put them in the game, move them up to the real-time watch list, and if they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen. So again, I have automation that runs on the main watch list, and it does not include the bullpen stocks to kind of keep that as efficient as possible. So as we mentioned, we put FNGD in the game. You can see I very quickly identified that potential pullback in the FANG. So we added it to the bullpen on the 7th, put it in the game on the 13th. Same thing with MJ, cannabis. We talked about that. So we put that one in the game. One I've added to the bullpen is, and this is another pullback on technology, is SARK, which is the short on the ARK-K, Kathy Wood's ARK-K. Again, it's been running up along with technology. There may be additional weakness given that these are non-profitable growth stocks. But again, with the exuberance in technology recently, ARK-K's been running up, so SARK's been coming down. So we're looking for, when ARK-K peaks out, and if we get a pullback, we wouldn't mind shorting the ARK as well. Again, my humble opinion. Again, none of this is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. It's all for education and entertainment purposes only. But I believe, in my opinion, the unprofitable growth stocks may be more vulnerable when the realization comes that they're, overbought, overpriced, and more vulnerable to dilution, etc., given the tight monetary circumstances. So also love to know y'all's opinion. Do you agree, disagree? Let us know in the comments. In our Discord, what do you think of ARK-K, the growth Cathie Woods type stocks? You think this is potentially a good play? BHI, again, we've had in the bullpen for a couple weeks. You can hear our thesis on Valhai via the bonus link in the notes here. Again, this is very similar to TROX, titanium nitrate. There's also a conglomerate of a bunch of other chemicals and a bunch of other businesses. So we took a quick look last week. I'd love to hear if you all would like to hear a more detailed due diligence video on VHI. We're still keeping an eye on that. Again, I'm looking at that as a potential play for rotations in and out of basic materials chemicals. Checking the chat. I see you guys are having a good conversation. I love to see all of our fellow BeachBum traders helping each other out in the chats and the Discord. So we'll take a quick look at the bullpen stocks. Again, we talked about ARK. Again, similarly, these are inverses. SARK is the short of ARK-K, so I'd be looking at the peak top in ARK-K to determine an entry point in SARK. We can see it. It's got a resistance point right up there, about 45.09 or so. Longer term, that looks like, a previous high at about 45.46. So it's testing this previous high. If it gets rejected, then again, we could look at going long SARK. We see it bounced up recently. It's got, decent range, $10 or so. We're not probably going to get a double out of it. The low was back at the October or October lows in, looks like it bottomed, ARK bottomed in December. So it bottomed well after the October low in the rest of the market. VHI, again, this is that titanium nitrate chemicals company. We see it's bounced up quite a bit, so we'll see if we get a pullback, rotation out of those. As you can see, it pays a small dividend, and that's actually, I believe I identified it from our dividend payers spreadsheet, what turned us on to this VHI, or maybe it was looking at basic materials chemicals companies using FinBiz. Okay, our shopping list, same concept as always. We recommend you have a good shopping list of the stocks you want to own on a pullback, on an irrational earnings report, on, irrational reaction in the market. Just, my caveat to that is I still stay away from zombie unprofitable companies. Again, high interest rates, even though we got the hawkish skip, we expect 50 basis point increase sometime during the rest of the year. So money's tight, credit's tight, is going to continue to tighten. So companies that are struggling just to service their debt, are vulnerable, at risk of going bankrupt. We're still seeing, bankruptcies, etc. So again, that's my only caveat. Otherwise, be ready, given the opportunity to buy those stocks you always wanted to own. So yesterday, kind of ran out of time, and we didn't get a chance to look in detail at our ETFs. So I'll look at that today. We'll see if there's any other opportunities for other sectors, industries, etc., using ETFs. So if anyone in the chat has any other ETFs that you want to look at, you can throw those up in the chat. We'll take a look at those. I'll bring up our Google Sheet that contains all of our ETFs. Just a quick reminder that our All Access and VIP Patreons have access to this ETF Google Sheet, as well as our dividend payers and our puts, ROIC, puts return on invested capital Google Sheet. So again, if you'd like access to these 24/7, you can join at All Access or VIP level in our Patreon. Got several videos and a whole playlist of videos on ETFs, how we use the ETF spreadsheet to identify the best financial sector, gold and silver ETFs, real estate ETFs, etc. So you can hear those in more detail via those links in our notes. I also want to look at this one. MD mentioned in yesterday's chat, and I apologize, I missed it during the live stream, but he mentioned a new ETF clip, which is another long on China, internet and covered call strategy. So it's a dividend payer. So I'll take a look at that in the research sheet of our ETF Google Sheet. We take a quick look at the FinViz chart for clip. So you can see it doesn't have a long history. You see it's been downtrending, and then recently bounced up, broke out of its downtrending channel. Looks like it's going to go test a longer term moving average. You see right now it's paying a very high yield. Again, the price is very low, so it's paying a $10 a year yield. It's not optionable. So again, we'll look at this also in the dividend payers when we get there as well. But again, if you're looking for another way to play China, internet, or technology long, and you want to get a dividend based on this covered call strategy, you can see the details of this. This is the Overseas China Internet Index is its basis. Also invest in Crane shares, so that's probably KWeb. And then they're selling covered calls to generate dividends. So again, that's becoming a more and more popular strategy. I know there's been discussions about these high yield covered call strategies on even individual stocks. So again, we did the risk reward profile. We'll look at that a second, and then we'll also look at the dividend information for clip in the near future. So just to look at that one real quickly, we jump over to our ETF spreadsheet. Let's see in the research tab, I added clip. Look at the risk reward profile for clip. So here's clip, China. Let's see, I'll zoom this in a little bit. See, again, it doesn't have a lot of history. Short-term risk reward's not real high. Week, again, a little bit better, still not very high, and it doesn't even have a year's worth of history. So, right now in terms of a swing trade, it's not really. I have better swings for China. We use yen for long and yang for short. They're the leveraged ETFs on China. But again, we'll look at it in the dividend payers as well. So this would be more attractive as a dividend payer than really a swing trade mechanism. So again, you can see yang is the one for shorting China, and yen is the one for longing China. Right now, we're still holding a long in China. We've had for quite a long time. So, and China's been swinging up lately. Again, it's pretty volatile, so you'll get these pretty quick pullbacks whenever it runs up. Ran up a couple days, pulled back, I think on Friday. But again, we expect more stimulus in China. So again, I think the longer term trend is up, but again, short term you can day trade yin and yang profitably if you like. We'll look at the screeners for the technology components. I want to do that real quickly as that kind of impacts some of the other ETFs. So again, on the screeners tab in our spreadsheet, I have the technology component screeners that we're using to identify possible opportunities in the technology sectors, and then also a number of other screeners that I've used in the past. So again, if you join our Patreon, you can use these screeners at any time on the screeners tab in our ETF spreadsheet. So we can see here's FANG-U. So you see it broke out. It's pretty exuberant run recently. Had a little bit of a pullback. It's still above its trend. The trend channel is expanding. So again, I'm a little bit more careful with that one. It could continue to run, but on a short-term pullback, it's pretty high. Same thing with SOXL. You see it looks a little bit more like it's topping. Got a little bit of a tweezer. It's still above the trend line, but if it breaks down through the trend line, we see the last time that it tested and failed on that trend line, we got a short-term, a pretty nice short-term pullback. So again, these would be short-term scalp type trades. So you can see why we like the short FNGD, SOXS. Nasdaq's just running crazy, so I'm not real. You can see how far it is above its trend line, above its averages. So short term, if you want to short the Nasdaq, SQQQ would be the inverse of TQQQ. Biotech, again, just kind of choppy. It is trending up. When we get a all tech exuberance, it'll run up too. LabD's the short on biotech, but again, it's not really at an extreme, so I'm not really pursuing biotech in either direction. So I hope that helps. So let me grab a drink and we'll look at some of the other ETFs real quickly. People are talking about oil and natural gas. We talked about oil and cold. Long and short on natural gas. Reminder, oil is expected to reverse split soon. I think the date's next Friday. I could be wrong. Somebody in the chat could remind us again. Yeah, Easy Mike says the reverse split's next Friday. I thought that's what people had mentioned. Okay, just a sec. So here's the two ETFs that we have for cannabis. There's MJ that we're watching and MSOS. So you can see the risk rewards are very similar. Shorter term, MJ is a little bit better. Longer term, MSOS is a little bit better. Prices are very similar. So again, if you prefer MSOS versus MJ, it's half of one, half a dozen of the other type of thing. And again, we're watching MJ right now. We're watching BDRY. We talked about that one. So you can see the ones that are highlighted, are the ones that I can quickly, take a look at, see what the risk reward profile is. Again, that's how I use this, both at the end of the day. I spin through and look at the highlighted ones, see if they're, near the support level that I'd like. And if so, we put them on the watch list. So again, there's been talk of, India. You can look at India, but it's pretty high right now. Talks about the Japan, CZJ, EWV, so you can see the risk reward profiles on those. Talked about oil and cold. Again, day trading, short-term trading on natural gas. So natural gas did recently run up quite a bit to up above 250 as we saw yesterday. Oil, if you want to day trade oil, we gush long, drip short. We have a long-term swing on drip still. PAL we talked about. As you can see, it's a little bit high right now. Talked about SOX S and SOX L, silver, long silver. So been a little volatile. You can long silver, AGQ, short ZSL. Solar isn't very attractive. These ETFs, risk reward isn't very attractive. Got a couple on uranium. You see they're a little high. So again, you can find ETFs. Here's one on Vietnam. I think Easy Mike was mentioning Vietnam as well. Got a couple ETFs on that. You see they're a little high right now. And then you can see wheat as well, we talked about. So again, you can use this ETF spreadsheet if you identify an opportunity in any index category, commodity, etc. You can use this ETF spreadsheet to find, our preferred ETFs are playing that particular topic up or long or short. So, and if you have any others that you'd like us to do the research on to potentially add to our ETF spreadsheet, just let us know. You can put it in the comments below, add it in our Discord, tag us in the Discord with, any type of due diligence additions you'd like us to make. See, now we're the only BeachBum trading, lowercase, all one word. Discord's changing the way they do their usernames. So again, the pound signs, etc., with numbers would be an imposter. So we are the only BeachBum trading. Please tag us in the Discord so we get notified and can take a look at whatever your question or comment may be. Again, our Discord's free to join. It's only those few channels that I mentioned that are exclusive to our Patreon members. You can find an invite to our Discord in the description box below. So now we'll talk about dividend payers as well, as we've mentioned for quite a while. We've been gathering dividend payers, waiting for the market to trend. The market's starting to trend. Now it's pretty overbought, kind of high. So, while we're waiting for an attractive pullback, we'll hold on to our dividend payers, take price appreciation, etc., rotate. You can hear our strategy on how to find the best dividend paying stocks in this series via the link in the notes below and or in our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. If anybody has a dividend payer you'd like to take a look at, please throw it up in the chat. I don't think we have any changes really except for clip, so we'll look at clip very quickly. It looks like he's hanging a little bit, so I'll check the chat. Good morning, Danelle D. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you. Okay, so let's look at clip real quick. So here's clip. That's that additional China. We see it pays a monthly dividend. Their last monthly dividend was 86 cents. The last ex-dividend was 5.26. So the next is probably around 6.26. We see the adjusted yield given potential price appreciation is pretty high. So again, this is much more attractive. Clip is much more attractive as a dividend payer. If you want to get an 86 cent a share dividend on your long on China stocks versus a short-term scalp, etc., using yen or shorting using yang, you can do that. Easy Mike is mentioning SAR. I don't know. I do not have SAR right now. I can take a look at that in the future. We can put it on the add tab and I could do the research on SAR if you would like. You see how you can also use this add tab for yourself. Our Patreon members, you see it plugs in the prices, the current prices using Google Finance functions. and then I go and manually go out to FinBiz and look at the support and resistance. You can see there's an automatically generated link to their FinBiz profile in the notes there. So we can see here's SAR, Saratoga Investment, Asset Manager. So we see it's got a pivot point, 27.5 or so. Again, it looks pretty high. So I'll plug their name in there while I'm here. I'll go back later and fill in their support and resistance levels. Here's the previous lows, 23-ish. Again, it looks like it's relatively high right now, so, not a lot of price appreciation. Dividend yields 10%, so it's pretty nice dividend. So yeah, I'll run the numbers on that and add it to the add tab and probably add it to our main dividend payer sheet. Thank you for pointing that one out to us, Easy Mike. So does anybody else in the chat have any other dividend payers you want to look at right now? Again, the ones highlighted in green are within 10% of their support level. So again, I'm looking for a combination of dividend payment and price appreciation. Again, you can see their ex-dividend date, the dividend payment date, the reported yield, and then the adjusted yield, which also takes into account potential price appreciation given the support and resistance levels. So again, all of the gray columns are automated systems update at the end of the day, and we have other automated systems that collect this information during market hours. So yeah, commercial real estate, not real hip on. Mortgage backed, not real hip on right now. Regional banks, not real hip on. So again, if you'd like us to look at any others, add them to our sheet, just let us know. Our option strategies, again, we're using a combination of option strategies, selling and buying back covered calls against our positions, and selling, in our case, cash secured puts, buying them back cheaper. Again, additional ways to essentially generate our own dividends while we wait for opportunities to evolve in the market, and to deploy our cash as best we can to maximize our income potential. So again, I'll look at our puts ROIC. These are opportunities to potentially sell puts. And again, our all access and VIP Patreons have access to this Google Sheet all the time. You could see the addition I made this week. I use this, we'll see this tool in the tools section that I use to identify additional opportunities at the end of each day. And we found a potential with Adobe at 320, and we'll take a look at that. So I put that in the research tab. So I use the option seller ROI tool end of each day. And again, our Patreon members, you have access to these tools via the tools link in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So we see Adobe. Premium isn't terribly attractive right now. Again, with the VIX down as low as it is in general, the premiums are not terribly attractive. See, it has had some, fair value is pretty high. So I've just got it in the research tab right now. This will get updated again end of each day. So we'll see if that presents a better opportunity in the future. See, ones we've got sells out on Amazon. Moderna has been going up, but it hasn't hit yet. So you see the price I've got on Moderna, $560. I think it was $365 recently. So If we get a further downtrend in Moderna, maybe we'll adjust that price down and be able to pick that put up. But again, there isn't a whole lot of attractive premium right now for selling puts in general, given the low VIX, low volatility. So again, if anyone would like us to do research on a put for any kind of stock, expiration, strike price, etc., just let us know. Again, I can put it in the research tab. If it looks attractive, we can add it to the main watch list for puts. Again, these prices get updated near real time during the day, and then the support, resistance, and pricing information by our automated systems at the end of the day. So we hope that all helps. And again, we have a whole series of videos on how we've evolved our option strategies, how we've developed this puts ROIC spreadsheet, how you can use it for make money with your option strategies. And you can access all those videos via the link in the notes. Also, we have additional videos on how to, sell covered calls in E-Trade, Webull, etc. And again, more about our option strategies there. So I've got a few minutes left. If anyone has any questions, you can throw them back up in the chat. If I missed your question or you want us to look at some individual stocks, again, we've got a few minutes in this hour, so we can do that. I'll grab a drink a second. If I missed your question previously, I apologize. And please throw your question back up in the chat. Okay, we hope that you all like this type of information, and we hope you'll smash the like button, help us get the YouTube algorithm to share this with more of your fellow traders out in the world. We'd love to continue to build our community. We hope you'll share this information, share our channel, our videos, etc. with your fellow traders. Again, we want to build our BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our fellow BeachBum traders. Again, we hope you'll join us in the Discord. Again, we can carry on these conversations past the live chats of our live stream and or any other shows, 24/7 in our Discord. And again, our Discord's free to join. You can find a direct link to our Discord, free invite in the description box below. Most people start in the Beach Party channel, and then we also have channels for different trading styles, different asset classes, etc. So again, whatever type of trading you would prefer is best for you. Hopefully we have a channel and a community to help you succeed and make money in your trading career in our Discord. So a question while I watch the chat and see if anyone else has any questions. Question I wanted to pose to the community in general is, how may we improve our weekly trading game plans to add more value to all of our BeachBum traders? I'd love to hear your feedback, again, in the comments and our Discord, etc. What would you like to see and hear more of, less of, etc.? How can we make this more valuable? In my humble opinion, I think there's other people that are probably better at technical analysis of the indices, are more interested in the indices in general. Is that something that you would like me to continue to cover in our weekly trading game plans? I personally prefer talking about, strategies, trade ideas, etc., doing more of that analysis, but I know, different people have different interests. So again, I'd love to hear your feedback as to what you would like to, hear more, see more of what's of value to you in our weekly trading game plans, and what might we cut out or spend less time on. So again, I need feedback from the community as to, how can we make all of our content, all of our community elements of the maximal value to you all. So Flippa says S&P is all he trades. So we see, people trading a leveraged SQQQ, TQQQ. Okay, so again, if anyone has any further questions, you can put them in the comments. You can put them in the Discord. We also have a Facebook group, a Reddit community. You can always contact us via any of our other social media sites, and you can find links to all of these and our other social media sites in the links section of our homepage. Homepage is beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. I'll put that up in the banner also very quickly. So again, all kinds of different ways you can contact us, and we'll try to respond as soon as we're able. Just a last minute reminder again, markets are closed tomorrow for the Juneteenth holiday, so we hope you enjoy the rest of your Father's Day, your long weekend, and we will see you all back on Tuesday morning. And again, you can continue these discussions today, the rest of the weekend, at any time in our Discord, and we hope we'll see you all there as well. So again, and have a great Father's Day, have a great long weekend, and good luck, and we hope we can help you succeed in your trading for the trading week of June 19th through June 23rd. Thank you again. Have a great day. Bye.